Hello, Sidela. How's everyone doing? So welcome to another weekly 7. My name is Udgoon, and I am your host. Thank you for being here. So today's weekly 7, we have a couple of things. Okay, so 7 topics. Early this week, many of us heard a really deep felt emotional testimony from a fellow Somali from a minority clan. I really thought this clip was worth mentioning because what he talked about really touched me. He talked about how injustice has been part and parcel of his life. He recalled the first time he went to school at 7 years old, and one of his teachers asked him what he was doing there. Why wasn't he making metal like his people? Instead of challenging those prejudice notions, the other fellow teachers just laughed along. He said that every day he comes across 10 ignorant people eating away at him, chipping away a part of him. And despite the fact that they look down upon him, they still expect him to give them his daughters. And if he refuses, they throw his minority status in his face. So I just found that just really heartbreaking. And, and a fellow teacher shared with me that he tried to establish a school in Somaliland, and he was trying to teach Gaboya children. And he said that he couldn't find any teachers over there that were willing to teach them. And he had to bring teachers from Kenya to do the teaching. And he also stated that typically in Somali culture, if somebody is killed or hurt or raped, God forbid, all of that, usually a blood money is paid, but there's no blood money paid for any injustices done against minority clans in that area. And this isn't something that's particular to Somaliland. I'm not calling out Somaliland in particular. I know it's something that's part of all of the Somali territories. But this specific instance was over there. So that is, first topic for my weekly 7. This is worth talking about a lot more. It's just barely scratching the surface. And it's something that I believe needs a lot of work. We really need to get to the bottom of what this caste system is and how to dismantle it, because it needs to be dismantled. It's wrong and it's injustice. And that is something that I've been thinking of all week. So it was very high on my list of things to talk about. On a more positive note, last Sunday we had an interview with the director of Daliera where we asked her questions about her movie. By the way, Daliera is still showing on OAFF, Online African Film Festival, this weekend as well. So please go check it out if you haven't watched the movie. Some takeaways from Lula Ali Ismail's process is that she said you have to believe in yourself. And even in your moments of doubt, make sure that you have a circle that also believes in you, so that in your moments of doubt, they can uplift you and help you see where you are headed and the work that you're doing. She said, take chances and make sure that you stay resilient and keep at a project. She was working on this project for 5 years. For 5 years, she was living and breathing and eating and drinking just Daliera. It's a really, really difficult thing to keep at a project for that long. But, nothing worth having comes easy, right? So work hard and believe in yourself. And one other thing that she said, which some people might like disagree with, which I know one of my favorite authors, I believe it was Toni Morrison who said this about writing about what you don't know. Lula more said, write about what you do know, and there are people that are that group. I am in the group of write about what you know. And that's typically what I write about. I write about what I know, so that other idea, write about what you don't know, that's also powerful, inventing new worlds and things of that nature. So I really enjoyed that interview with her. The song that I started with is by the great Omar Sholi. Unfortunately, Ilaha Nahriso, this past week he passed away in Mogadishu. He is a prominent Somali musician. He has been a musician, and he joined what Somalis refer to as funka, the music industry, about 45 years ago. He's said to be about 80-something years old. He was born in Afgoya, and he was part of the military, so that was part of his life journey as well. He is a wonderful artist, and he's one of the artists that I have always really listened to a lot, and it just puts a smile on my face. I love him. On the US side, we have our man, Bernie Sanders, finally endorsing Biden. So he's endorsed Biden. A lot of people have different opinions about that. Some people say in the interest of the unity for the Democratic Party, that was a good thing. And I think that that's probably why Sanders endorsed him, in terms of unity and in terms of having a common goal. And then there's another group, Bernie Bros and sisters, that are Bernie or bust, that are just not going to vote for Biden. So in the quarantine stress and all of the things that have been going on, like we talked about last week about mental health, I've been thinking about ways to de-stress. And as you guys know, one of my favorite things to do is music, listen to music. So I've also started to play the guitar. My son and I have been learning together. So it's been something that we share together. And it's been something that for us for bonding, but it's also like developing a skill. So I'm really excited about that. It's really hard. My fingers hurt. So my fingers have been hurting, and I'm developing calluses. Oh my gosh, my soft hands are developing calluses. And developing calluses is a good thing for guitar players because it makes your fingers strong so that you can press the frets. My strumming hand is also hurting, but it's really important to develop good habits, because if you don't, you could get tendonitis, and that's an inflammation of your tendons in your wrist and your hand, and then you won't be able to play at all. So for any music lovers out there, if you want to play an instrument, please just, one step at a time, get the instrument, play around with it, see what each string, the sound that comes from each string or each key. If you're a keyboard player, I also have a piano. Well, it's actually like a keyboard, not really a piano. It has about 61 keys, so I play that too. So it's really important that I develop good habits so that I can continue playing, because I love playing. Another thing on our U.S. politics side is our it's difficult for me to say this, our President Trump bizarre press briefing where he was talking about a lot of things, about ventilators and about how there's such an excess of ventilators. And it was somewhat of a political kind of rally too, where he was throwing a lot of shade at the Democrats. He was going off on the media. And if you follow him on Twitter, you can see that he was writing liberate dash Minnesota, liberate this state, liberate that state. And there's been protests going around in those states wanting to reopen the state due to the lockdown for coronavirus. So that kind of behavior is just really strange and unbecoming of a president to incite protests like that. So it's been very interesting to watch that and very concerning at the same time. Hi, how is it going? Okay. So just reading the comments real quickly, just reading the comments. Okay, so the last thing that I have, so 7 topics, right? Last topic that I have is this wonderful initiative that I saw on social media. It's called a Somali WhatsApp bot, which gives information about coronavirus in Somali. It's a really ingenious idea since a lot of our elders do get their information from WhatsApp. It is good that they're able to get this information in their language. They receive written and audio recorded information as well, which is a win-win situation. I'll put more information in the comments under this video about the WhatsApp bot. Share with your habos, share with your edo, share with your ader, abti, what have you. Share it with people that use the WhatsApp to communicate with their friends and family. But this is a really good way to get information and have a lot of their questions answered, a lot of the myths and then compared to the facts of coronavirus. Shout out to my girl, Safia Aidid, who was part of creating this. So this is a great initiative, and I'm very pleased with the kind of work that's being done to help our community. It's just an amazing thing. Thank you, Hassan, for the link. So shout out to Hassan. He is my co-writer / producer for Udgoon's Weekly 7. So thank you. And he's sharing the WhatsApp bot link. Hi, Ahmed. How's it going? So I feel like I ran through, those 7 topics. I try not to take too much time on the live and not bore you guys to death, right? So does anyone have any questions? Any questions, comments, concerns, anything at all? As you can see, a new thing, I got braids. I did them myself, and it was very tedious, and it took a very long time. I'm so shook that I actually tried this. So I was like, you know what? I can do this. And I ordered hair, and I got some products from Target, and it was really hard. The hardest part was not being able to see the back of my head. I can't see the back of my head, but I tried with a mirror and everything, parting my hair. And then I put the braids in one by one. The hardest part is locking the braiding hair with your actual hair, like right here. It's the most difficult thing ever. And I tried again and again and again and again. And it was very challenging and testing my patience. But something that I can say about learning, right, as an educator, I'm a huge fan, obviously, of dust yourself and try again. That is something that you have to do. Like if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself and try again. It's because learning is incremental. It's something habitual. Obviously, my hands aren't used to this because I haven't done it before. I'm quite pleased with how it worked out, because I'm like, it could have been worse, right? Maybe next time I'll do better. Next time I'll do better after that. about developing muscle memory. So if there's anything out there that you want to try that you haven't done before, I would really recommend that you just go ahead and try it. And if at first you don't succeed, try again. Don't think that it's not for you because you didn't get it the first time. And that's a lot of things with also with music and arts that I find with people is people believe that you have to have a natural talent for certain things, but a lot of things that we do are actually learned behavior. And yeah, there are people that are more inclined towards arts and sciences or maths or this and that, right? But if at first you don't succeed, try again. It does really work because if you try again and again, you develop muscle memory, and that is what is learning. You learn, and by repeating and teaching your body to do this thing. Thank you very much. Yeah, Zainab, it was really difficult. It was really difficult. I'm not going to like sugarcoat it and say it was like easy. It was actually quite difficult. But I'm pleased with it. It's like my protective style for like the next 2 weeks, and then I'll see what else I can do. So Hassan pointed something out how taking care of your hair is and doing your hair can be de-stressing, right? It does make me feel better, So I think I was asking Hassan earlier, like, how does my hair look? How does my hair look? Like, it's like the 10th time asking, it just makes me feel good about myself. So doing something that makes you feel good about yourself is good for our self-esteem. It's good for our mental and emotional health. And that translates into being able to do other things and having confidence in being able to do other things. So, when you feel good about yourself, you're more likely to try different things that you haven't tried before. It is a way of instilling more confidence within ourselves. So that's really good. And yes, it does get better. Just like cooking, right? I love cooking. Cooking is one of my favorite things to do. And I think it's just a really wonderful thing. And people are always surprised, right? And it's a misconception about feminism, and that feminists don't cook, right? But I love cooking, and feeding yourself and being able to take care of yourself is a skill. It's a life skill. It's not something that's specific to any one gender, So cooking is amazing. I love cooking. I just go in my kitchen and, I just put a few things out. And the more you do it, the better you get. You just look at your pantry and, sometimes I'm like, I can make this and I can make that and I can make this. Like when you have you have groceries, you can feed yourself and you don't have to always spend your money outside. I love cooking. What about you guys? Do you guys like cooking? Thank you, Nuzeba. Thank you very much. I thought I'd try out this live thing. I did have a podcast, if you guys don't remember, but I ran into some issues, life issues. I was finishing my master's degree. I was teaching. I'm a mom, and I had computer issues. And it was just like things were just like falling apart. So I had to kind of stop doing that. But I love doing this kind of media work. And inshallah, I will continue doing it. So I will, keep at it and continue doing this weekly 7. I hope that you guys enjoy it. And if there are no remaining comments, concerns, or questions, then we're going to call it a day. So I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you very much. Thank you, Layla. Thank you very much. So thank you guys, and we'll see you next Sunday, inshallah. So 12 p.m. Eastern time, and at 7 p.m., I believe, East African time. And I don't know the other times on top of my head. So I'm assuming 6 p.m. UK time, which the near, I guess, European countries around the same. Good deal? All right. Have a good day. Leave it with a quick song. Ooh, is it working? Love you too, Layla. All right, and that's it. Morning wanaagsan, habeen wanaagsan, good evening. Have a good rest of the day. Thank you very much for being here with me. I really appreciate all of you guys. Thank you.